it started from the
Okay, I'll tell you, dude.
The idea of God.
Yeah. So your friend, assuming it was a friend,
No, he is.
well, listen, he has a point,
well.
right? So the current cosmology, they have a creation story, right? How reality was created. Does the Bible? Yes.
Your guys is still there?
They say the Big Bang created everything. They have a story how man was created. The Bible says God formed Adam out of the dust of the earth, and their creation story is man arose by evolution from a black fucking goo slime pond that got struck by lightning or some shit.
I'm sorry. I was cut off. You said your friend, and I said he means well. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
No, what I said was
the majority of what you said, though.
Yeah, so I'll start from the beginning. They have a creation story in the modern so-called science. The Big Bang.
Yeah.
That created the universe. Just like in the Bible, God created the universe. In the beginning, the words God said, "Let there be light." Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Right? So,
yeah.
They have a creation story. The science have a creation of man story. How man was created. Yeah, we evolved from apes. Right? And in the Bible creation story, God created man out of the dust of the earth. Right? So they both got that.
Okay.
Okay, so the claims of the Bible, can you figure them out yourself, or do you have to rely on priests and prophets? Yeah, right. You get like in the Bible is the prophets that tell you the word of God, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who tells you the Earth is a globe? Can you do that yourself, or do you got to rely on other people?
Mostly.
You got to rely on astronauts.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that claim they've seen the Earth as a globe, right? Everybody else is just believing on them. So it's the same thing, right? There's these special people. They have the special knowledge you don't, and you can't get it. It's the same thing. It's all the same, right? And as far as like why would people want you to believe that nonsense? Is you got to think of where it leads to. It leads to freaking nihilism and solipsism that life has no meaning, and that you're a small speck of dust in an infinite, uncaring universe, right? And on top of that, you have to believe this other thing, which is particularly insidious. And I harp on this a lot because I think it's very fucking important that you have to believe your entire experience of reality is an illusion. So when you go to the ocean and you observe the Earth to be flat, that's an illusion. It's actually a giant fucking ball, and you can't see the giant ball. You only see something flat. But that's not the way reality really is. It's some other way. So you can't rely on your eyes to determine where you are. And then they say the Earth is spinning. The sun's not moving. You're moving. The stars aren't moving. You're moving. The moon's not moving. You're moving. So now reality is exactly the opposite of what you see.
Exactly.
And you can't trust that either. So what do you trust? That you can't trust yourself and trust your senses. So you get the drift. So let me tell you something that happened for real 2 days ago. Kid came in here. He said, "Give me a credible source that the Earth is flat." I said, "You." He said, No. What do you mean me? I said, "Oh, well, if you go to the ocean looks flat, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, yeah, you're your credible source." He was like, "No, I'm not a credible source." He literally just started throwing his own self under the bus so that I could give him some other person to tell him what reality was. That he couldn't rely on himself to figure out what it was. That he needed to go, "Hey, I don't know anything. I need some fucking someone smarter than me to tell me what everything's about."
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the purpose, is to freaking basically turn you into a mental fucking slave.
Interesting. I mean, my friend got there in a different route, but he got to the kind of the same conclusion. He was like, they're creating, and I'm not sure who are they, but he said they're creating systems that are fully fake, and you get lost in them, and you're very far from reality.
They're telling you reality's fake. I mean, people say to us, well, you guys think gravity's fake? They're literally saying the reality's fake. I go to the ocean. I go to any ocean or large body of water go to. It's flat on its surface. It looks flat. It's measured as flat. It's used as flat. But all that is fake. That it's actually a big ball. Why? Because some fucking special astronaut said they saw the Earth as a ball when they got on a giant fucking Roman candle and flew really high in the air. And then, trust me, bro, I saw a big ball. Or I can just rely on myself and go, well, I didn't see a big ball. I have no reason to fucking trust your bullshit. You're a fucking government agent. You're in the military, sworn to whatever they want to swear you to. And no, I don't have to believe that bullshit story.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's when people get confused, as if they're being forced to believe that the Earth is a globe, and people say, "Oh, who's hiding the flat Earth?" It's not being hidden. It's right out there in front of your face. You choose individually to go, I don't believe. I want to believe something else. Someone said the Earth is a globe. I see it flat. I don't care about that. I want to believe what this person said. Instead, they choose that. Maybe they chose it when they were a little kid, when they were 5 years old in kindergarten. They chose it then, and they never revisited the idea. But at some point in time, they chose it. They chose to believe that because they sure as hell weren't shown any evidence that it's true. No one showed you evidence in kindergarten the Earth is a globe. No one showed you in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, whatever grade. No one showed you anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking that perspective, they feed the other like the global idea is fed through movies, through schools, through everything. Like,
everywhere. It is everywhere.
That's the default. Yeah.
So let me tell you this: when I first realized the Earth was flat, that was literally the first thing I noticed. Is to how much globe, astronaut, space, imagery, propaganda, stories, how much it was surrounding me. It's everywhere. It's like you can't get away from it no matter where you go. You turn the TV channel, go on the internet, read a book, go in the bookstore. It's everywhere. You're completely surrounded by it. And I never realized it before. It's like think about it like this. Say you're in a secular country, and then you go to a foreign country that's like really hardcore into some religion. And like they have like, say they're like Buddhist or something, and everywhere you go there's fucking little Buddhas everywhere, and mandalas and fucking prayer bowls and all the stuff that goes with that religion, and it's everywhere, surrounding you everywhere. Of course you're going to notice because you're from another country. You're not used to seeing that. So yeah. I'm from America. I'm used to seeing like globe stuff and all that all around me, and I never noticed until I realized all that was nonsense. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm underwater in this stuff.
It's like in that movie. I walk by
a van.
Glasses on.
Yeah, exactly, Matrix. Exactly. It's like freaking they live, man. And like I go by like a place, it's a plumbing store, and it's like global plumbing. What the fuck does plumbing have to do with a globe?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? It's like people use it in advertising because they think, oh my God, people. Well, I know what we can do. I want people to think that we're modern and high tech. So we'll throw a globe on the side of the van. We'll call ourselves Global Plumbing, and people will fucking call off the hook, dude. It's like advertising.
But it's synonymous. Like they can call themselves international and will give the same idea. They don't have to use the globe.
They could call themselves quantum too. They could call quantum plumbing, right?
You'd be surprised people do that.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I brought it up. So they could call it scientific plumbing, right? They could call it any number of stupid shit that's like that's in modern society.
Mm-hmm.
Evolutionary plumbing, that would be cool. How about dino plumbing? Plumbing dinosaurs. Freaking.
Everything has an AI tag these days.
It's never referred to as Earth either. It's always referred to as a globe.
Yeah. Not Earth warming, global warming. Around the globe. It's a global community.
Global warming, yes. I did not realize that.
It's the global village about 10, 15 years ago.
Opinion. I think they plan to meet again in a couple of weeks for the solstice to take an observation of the sun at that point in time and see if their math still holds up or something. I really don't know what their plan is right there. But yeah, it's pretty sad. No, the what I did yesterday has more to do with the direction that I'm going. The stupid bug here. It's one thing to show it to these guys, but really, I guess the real net effect for me was wider exposure, on another social platform, because I really don't spend a lot of time on Twitter for fairly obvious reasons, I think. Most of the time, I'm there Friday night, but that's about it. Yeah, so the first part, of course, is the data that I've already collected over the past couple of years. I mean, this concept is not new for those who are in the loop. I started all this in 2021. And then part 2 came out in 2023 in September, and we're actually witnessing, or part 2 rather did, and we're witnessing part 3 now in 2025, starting in January with Dave Weiss and Shiva. So by the time we get to the summit here, we're looking at a modified experiment, actually, because it's not the same method as where I started out 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it was about appealing solely to commercial jet pilots, because they have constant opportunity where they're intercepting the glide path every day, they're on the plane.
Yeah, thousands of times a day,
And I wanted to meet those guys at their level of need. So typically, ATC will vector a plane in to intercept the glide path at 10 nautical miles away, roughly. So I wanted to make use of that data point. And over a 2-year span of time, there were 2 pilots in particular who responded to me and started to send me videos straight from the cockpit, their own iPhones and stuff, shooting the primary flight display. And I put together a small body of data based on an intercept at 10 nautical miles away. And if you haven't seen that, get over to the Rumble channel, Flat Earth Man of Stone. Just type in FEMA, and by the time you get that far, the autocomplete will show you that it's right there. And grab the ones about that I took Eric Dubé. I deconstructed him, I tore him apart and reformulated him 4 years ago. And then there's the one that's 2 years ago titled that the Earth is not convex. And then you're catching up to now, where you got to check both the beginning videos listed chronologically on that channel and the most recent ones chronological on that channel, because in between that point of time, when I opened that channel just in September of this year, I put a couple of videos up relative to the summit, and then I migrated the vast majority of the videos that I've produced and put up on BitChute, and that's nearly 50 videos, relative to Flat Earth. And I did that because, ironically, it's a UK corporation, but nobody in the UK is allowed to visit their site to watch videos on BitChute, unless you got a VPN or, you get up to some other skullduggery. So fuck them. We're done with BitChute for a number of reasons, that just being one. We're over to Rumble with the rest of the content. So you'll find it, bookending the current collection of what I have on that channel. When you do, you're going to see some really entertaining stuff about Shiva and MC Goon, our favorite anti-hero, in prep for the summit, to which you guys know quite well now that I was uninvited purposefully, so that they weren't going to let me anywhere near that thing. So yeah, that's what yesterday was about, was following up to everything they threw at Kevin and exposing some of what they said as bullshit and giving real figure to the figures that they, some of which they asserted in complete error, grievous error. And we came to the conclusion
They're
in the
literally
end.
showing the error on the screen while they're saying it. Like,
Pardon?
Like in the first one, right? It's literally on the screen while that guy was talking. Whatever, not McToon, the other anti-flat earther.
Dan.
Right? Yeah, they're showing a screenshot of that. It doesn't match the spec on the screen, and he's saying, "Well, the spec says," but the words say that it doesn't match the spec, and that it's way better. Like, you can't make that stuff up, man. They're utter clowns.
They really are, and that again is what I spent a little bit of time yesterday exposing. Is that there was a point in day 2 of the summit on the 15th where Goon came back to the table with his assessment, trying to produce this, quote, equation, this mathematical model that she was demanding. And in the middle of his calculations for margin of error, he starts to talk about the glide slope emitter angle precision.
Yeah.
And as he does so, he pulls up from the FAA instrument flight manual the page which details the error margins or the beam spread for the localizer, not the glide slope emitter. The localizer is a single beam instead of a pair like the glide slope is, and it's got totally different figures. It's horizontal instead of vertical. You know what I mean? And Goon is just too stupid to even see that.
He makes so many mistakes. It's almost
he takes
scary.
that margin of error and then applies it to subsequent additions and, trying to get the final figure of what the total margin of error might be like. And of course, he's way off, he's just completely out to lunch. So yeah, yesterday I pulled up all the relevant FAA standards, specifications docs where they list minimum tolerances or maximum tolerances for error, like how tight things need to be, both in the glide slope situation as well as the distance measuring equipment. The DME is the thing that works in tandem with this tower to tell you your slant angle distance from the tower while you're trying to figure out whether or not you're on that 3-degree path. So we put that together with the other incorrect assertion that Goon made about altimeter error. And we threw all those together with a 4-part set of trigonometric calculations to show what the total error would be with those 3 actually relevant margins of error combined. And then I put it out graphically in an overlap layout where you see, okay, according to the flat Earth scenario, here's what the error margins represent. This is the total range of expected values, minimum possible, maximum possible values for the scenario, and then the globy ones next to it. And you see that the overlap between them is only 0.93 nautical miles, and that the medians for both of them are outside of the overlap, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And finally, I end with a comparison in terms of the expectation of the data we might be getting from these pilots. And I show 4 case scenario, or 4 scenarios, I guess, 2 being inclusive, or Jesus, get my brain straight, 2 being what it would look like to receive inconclusive data. If it was just all over the fucking place, it would be inconclusive. And if it was all just within the overlap, then it would be inconclusive. And, if it's hanging over the other, each side, it's obvious what the data represents. And I kind of left it there. And I spent some time also dealing with their bizarre objection about cost. I mean, seriously, anybody from the mainstream who has a problem with the cost of renting a civilian airplane for a couple of hours on a single day to get a data point, or 8 in a single flight, is out of their fucking mind, when it comes to, hey, look, what if you were going to take into account mainstream physics and the average cost of their budgets to perform experiments? What do you think that figure would be? Into the hundreds of thousands, right? Like they blow money like oxygen. And so at the end of it, actually, I put together another vector where both pilots who want to do this experiment but might not have the funds, and groups of people who pool their money, you know what I mean? And are prepared to send it to a pilot, that they could all of them could just email me and I'll put them in touch with each other. You know what I mean? And completely blew that objection out of the water as well. So it was a good session. We wrapped it up pretty tight.
You do realize these are not actual objections they have. They're doing
of course not
tactics, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They're just trying to just do FUD. It's nonsense.
Oh yeah, that's
everyone. All of us see right through it. It's like
Yeah, no, I mean, all the flat earther guys could see it instantly, but I mean, that's why I went to this amount of effort to produce graphics that are fully quantified in terms of the expectation of what the data might look like as well in the end. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you say it's going to be inconclusive. Well, here's the 2 cases where it might be, and what do you think the chances are that that's actually what's really going to happen? I mean, really, especially based on my previous data that I've collected at 10 nautical miles. Because we're working at 20 now, and that's where they all just fall off the cliff, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, are there any outlier like airports where they pick up the glide slope from even further away? Because there might be the typical practice, but there might be like weird airports where they have to do it from like farther.
Oh, well, I also present 2 still frames from the second pilot who contacted me over that length of time. The guy from Vietnam, who, as a part of his job, trains other pilots too, right? Like, he's the right guy for this job. After he sent me data from Hanoi and 3 approaches going into Ho Chi Minh City, all that excellent data, and I present all that in the video, he also sent me some still frames of yet another approach where he first picked up, I think, possibly just the DME signal from 130 nautical miles away when he's up at 30,000 feet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then he sent me a second frame where he's at 59 nautical miles away, and he is indeed picking up glide slope signal as well, because you could see the ID in the lower left of the flight display. The tower ID and its distance, you know what I mean? And then a third frame from 35 nautical miles away when he's right on the path. And I do the math out for that and say, okay, well, if we were just going to do the trig and reverse engineer that figure, how far are we off on that altimeter to the figure that it should be if we were right on the path at 35 nautical miles away? And the answer is 1%. That we were like, what was it, 110 feet out of 11,020 feet he is up in the air, that he should have been at 1,130 feet or something like that, you know what I mean? Or 11,150 or whatever the hell it came out. You can check out the numbers. It's all right on the screen. When I present it, the point is that, he was 1% away from the expected target figure, but of course, still descending at a few hundred feet per minute at that moment in time, right? Still going pretty fast. So that may cause some, and obviously does cause some altimeter lag in a barometric altimeter. So if he had leveled off and then hit that, it probably would have been exactly right. Like bang on at 35 nautical miles away. So, when we're doing it at 20, I don't think margin of error is an issue at all.
Radar altimeters, though?
They do. Yeah. No, the smaller planes don't, but the big commercial jets definitely have a radio altimeter. But again, this is something I discussed with that very same pilot 2 years ago. And it's straight in the manual. It says, look, you don't actually turn that thing on until you're down to 2,500 feet above. that they just don't use it that far up.
Yeah.
It's not a useful piece.
Probably not strong enough transmit. Right, they're too far away to get a.
Well, you get fuzzy bounces.
Signal. Yeah.
When there's topography below you, it's also a doubtful reading, and it's not. They don't need that kind of precision when you're still that far up in the air. They don't use it, so it's a waste. So yeah,
that's why the horizon dip thing. That thing kills me. They're not like the horizon dip in an airplane. They're like, look, the horizon's above, or the horizon's below their artificial horizon. Yeah, because if they pointed the plane, they lined them up together, they'd smash into the ground. They're like, what are you talking about?
The whole dipping the nose thing as you fly is actually one of two original premises around which I designed the opening of the first, like the part 1 video 4 years ago. That it was a story about Eric Dubé and Derek Marbles and the things that they say. You know what I mean? Like, this was me keeping flat earthers honest. Yeah, that was my original intent, and I'm utterly dismayed at the Globies, although of course I expect it from the anti-flat earthers. Look, I started this out by smacking down 2 prominent flat earthers. You know what I mean? I'm interested in the data, not the dumbass things that these people say. And I went to my typical level of detail to explain one that, you know, you level in the plane. Like, let me back it up again. Derek had the big idea that he was going to grab his spirit level, jump on a jet flight, and put it on his tray table.
Oh, you're talking about D-Marble. Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, man. Right? Yeah. And he's like, oh, man, 15 minutes have gone by at cruising altitude, and this thing still shows level. It must be flat. Blah, blah, blah. No. That you're doing it wrong is the expression that I used at the time, and I took a piece out of Mr. Mom to highlight that. And then, of course, a nice shiny graphic, which I also present yesterday, of what is called a moving reference. You know what I mean? That vertical moves with the craft.
Oh, of course. It was silly. He just blew up on the algorithm got him, and he blew up and got internet famous for 5 minutes.
For being a dumbass. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Great.
But that was the thing. He made the Globies mad, too. So the Globers were posting, look how stupid this flat earther is. Like, yeah, we kind of agree.
And that's why I did it, is because I don't want flat earthers making us all look stupid. You know what I mean? And I will call anybody out when they say something stupid. That if it's just incorrect, it's incorrect. It needs to be corrected. Hey, let's get back to the facts. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who it is. Even me. If I say something stupid, cut me in half, man. Here's my invitation right now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's my
your MO?
My methodology, and I would rather say something and be corrected and then learn where I was wrong than keep silent and not learn that I was wrong this entire time.
Exactly. So like 4.5 years ago or whatever, when I first started to produce these kinds of videos, one of my very first one was about what I called a gravity test. That we were going to take GMM over R squared into account, and we were going to get some data all over Earth. That was the intent anyway. And I designed an experiment, a drop test, that people could build themselves using a $15 Arduino board. You know what I mean? Some really cheap materials around the house. Just set it up and connect the wires. Here's the programming. I handed people everything on a platter except the actual hardware. You know what I mean? Here's how you do it. Here's the code. Here's a spreadsheet. Go ahead. Just send me the data. I'll play with it. You don't have to do anything except the test. You know what I mean? I was interested in getting the data, and nothing has changed for me. That is still my sole intent. And that's what this current thing is all about. It's about getting the data so we could talk about something real. We don't have to go, oh, no, man, if this, then I bet that. Oh, no, you can't possibly be right about this. Well, because it's that. Well, if you don't have the data, why are you even talking about it? Why would you assert something where you don't have the data?
The data is the arbiter. that's
sure.
what's happening. Like,
Yeah.
what you imagine is the cause or whatever, it doesn't matter. The data speaks.
That's right. That is totally right. So that's what yesterday was about. It was a day of reckoning for me.
Because we deal with it all the time with all these Globers, right? They want to come in here and it just becomes story time.
Mm-hmm.
Explain this. I have an explanation for that. Yeah, but do you have actual empirical data to back up your explanation? And you know, that's a big no. They don't. Like, they just have a story that they like.
They have appeal. They have nothing but appeal. To authority, to possibility, to incredulity. There's a lot of appeal going on. To credential.
Probability, to begging the question, it's all
on and
over the
on.
place.
On and on. Nothing but appeal. So, yeah, they make it so easy for us to own them. You know what I mean?
But ironically, they think, this is the thing I've noticed with Globers, right? They're like, well, science is on my side. I go, okay, well, science is empirical, right? Right. Okay, so give us the empirical data to back up anything you say, and then it becomes story time. Like,
Yes. 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 Man. But it was a fun romp.
Good story.
It's too bad more people yesterday didn't have more questions for me. That would have been a way to enrich the experience, I think.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I didn't know it was like, I just didn't have time to watch it yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's full on. It's like I did not pull any punches at all. I wrote the thing out. It came to over 6,000 words and 30 pages of images and stuff. I also brought a full-on animation, 94 seconds long, that I put together, showing both scenarios concurrently, where the planes are up in the air. You're looking at the cross-section. There's the path of the planes, there's the curvature of the earth, there's the flatness, there's, here they are flying at 100 knots, and also here's the primary flight display of each craft and what it looks like to fly that in real time at 100 knots, etc. You know what I mean? Like, I took every possible unknown right the hell out of this scenario. And what I find really disturbing is even after I go that far and give those materials to Kevin to present, etc., Shiva either pretends or just doesn't understand what he's looking at, because it's not in the form of a, quote, mathematical model, which is nothing more than an equation. Y equals X plus or minus this, plus or minus that, plus or minus this, plus or minus that. That's all he was prepared to look at. And that's tragic, because I over-delivered. You know what I mean? I didn't just give him that. I gave him the equations for all scenarios and the expected outcomes for all scenarios. I put all the math right up on the page for him, and Kevin presented that. And the guy acted like that never happened. It was tragic.
I would say that he doesn't even know what he's looking for. I don't even think he understands the fundamental claim based upon that interview I saw with him and Dave.
Yeah.
Right? And then they were going over the math, and he seemed generally like confused.
He couldn't figure out the geometry of a 100-mile drop.
Yeah, but that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
In a way. Because what he does, if you look at what his field is, right? He's just finding statistical correlations between two phenomenon, which is a totally different thing than like a geometric proposition, right? He's just like out of his element. He has no idea. He's like, well, we'll do some trig. I guarantee that if I showed him a diagram of what a trig function actually is geometrically, he wouldn't even recognize it as that, right? So it's a right-handed triangle inside of a circle. Like, I bet you he wouldn't even know that that's what that actually is. Like,
I find it the height of irony that guy claims to teach mathematics at the post-sec level.
Oh, I know.
And the best that he could come with analogy to the table was F equals MA. And I think I mentioned this to you before last time I was here, that F equals MA is an incorrectly constructed fucking equation. That it's actually A equals F over M.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that last time you were in here. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. It's all about putting the independent variables on one side of the function sign and the dependent ones on the other. The known on one side and the unknown on the other. You know what I mean? The one side where you can fill in the variables and you get the other one as a result. That is how you put an equation together, and he can't see that. He's not even that literate. All he does is repeat the curriculum to the students.
Oh, obviously.
He's never thought about the curriculum. Pardon?
He has 4 degrees, dude. Of course.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, there's no way you're getting 4 degrees unless you're a parrot.
I would concur. I would definitely concur. I paid for one of them. You know, I got a degree, and frankly, I want my money back.
Hey, I got 3 degrees.
My condolences.
Let me prove it right now. Hold on, I'll prove it.
So entertaining.
Yeah, look in the chat. You proved it.
Do you guys have any
I'm
questions?
working outside.
Any of you guys currently in the room that you have seen yesterday in its entirety yet?
I literally watched like the first 30 seconds.
Okay.
I didn't have the time because I know I need to like watch it and think about it. It isn't something like I can skim through.
That's true. I mean? Yeah, it's detail intensive. That's for sure. Now you got to have eyes on screen. Yeah, and even then, there's no guarantee.
Looking at it.
Yeah, especially when I knew about their objections, right? So, like, I knew what they whined about the last time. So, you know, I gotta pay attention.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just look forward to looking at it. That's what I said.
Good thing. Yeah.
And what's the status of Goldbusters? Has Shane and Alan taken that over for good? Is that theirs, or is it?
I don't know if that's the proper verb to have taken it over.
Okay, let's put it this way. I watched Goldbusters. They turned the shit, and I stopped watching them. But now Shane and Alan are doing it, and I watched the presentation Shane gave, and I watched a couple other ones. So I'm like, I'm non-committal because I don't know if I going to go back on there. Then I see some freaking woo-woo shit. So like, but you know what I mean? Because I get the notification, Goldbusters is streaming live. I'm like, should I even look? Like I'm scared still.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just don't know which member of the team is up unless you memorize the schedule. We're doing Sunday afternoons. That's when you're going to find the 3 of us doing our thing, and we're just rotating around, and we're bringing some other people in here and there.
Well, that's when they did it. It was a regular Sunday show, and I just stopped watching it just because they started going off the frickin' rails on speculation, and that's not my thing, really.
We did one in August with Cammie and Karen together with us as kind of a handoff.
Yeah.
And so in that way, I mean, you could use the verb take over, but I think it's more like they just handed us access to their platform. And from what I saw in the comments yesterday, and I haven't even looked at the Globusters channel as a whole, but I'm pretty sure that guys like Kevin and Cammie are still also putting out stuff under the same channel at different times in the week.
Okay.
Right? So it's just the team got larger, I would say.
Oh, cool. I mean, what Karen does is useful. I'm not saying that, like, the sociological parts of this flat Earth versus globe are important, but, you know, I mean, I don't have to watch that. I live it every day in here. The mental disorders that I come across. So.
Yeah, I guess there are other people out there who are interested in the different angle, but frankly, the only thing that matters to me is the physics of it, the reality of it. You know what I mean? That
you're a nerd. It's like me.
Totally. I prefer the word geek, but that's it.
Oh, geek. So you bite the heads off of chickens? No, just kidding.
No, I'm the electronics geek type. I don't know how much of my history you know about Indio, but I've done a lot of prototyping. Yeah, like I'm the in the lab guy building shit, 3D printing, designing shit, and designing electric circuitry to replicate things that are in the papers that we read sometimes. Like, did you see what I did with the Marinov motor, for example?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know what a Marinov motor is.
Well, shit.
Is it
I don't know.
Electric motor?
Maybe I should supply you guys with a list of. Well, you know what's faster? You guys are on Telegram too, right?
Yeah. I think I joined your Telegram channel.
Okay, which one though? The Stone Cold Truth channel or the Stone's Very Own channel? Because one of them's a group that where you can discuss it and talk to people that are there, and the other one is just broadcast of my work. And it's that one where all of the stuff that I'm talking about is on display. I originally started that Telegram broadcast channel as an Urbano Monte map channel. And right up at the beginning of its history, you can still see it. There's 25 tiles of this gigantic digital map of the Earth done by Urbano Monte, or whatever the hell his name was. And it's beautiful. I know a guy who pulled it down and turned it into the top of his coffee table, for example.
Wow.
Like really big, like 12-foot square. And like the tiles are 400 or 200 or 400 megabyte a piece. They're just gigantic files. Anyways, that time went by, and I uploaded more and more of my own stuff to it. So I just changed the name of the channel to something.
Did you do over Unity stuff? Didn't you?
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. We started back with Tesla and Bedini. And those guys, we did a little bit of Meyer with resonance mixed in there. Absolutely, yeah. No, I did that shit for years, and I.
That's right.
Back
your
then,
stuff before Eric Murakami and Dollard and.
Yeah, I posted a bit of that.
Yeah, and you know Ken Wheeler and.
I don't touch him too much.
Forum. I made a lot of posts in there. I've probably seen your stuff.
Gotcha. Sure no, you probably have. Oh yeah.
I had a big freaking beef with Ken Wheeler. He blocked me. He was mad.
Oh, really? That's cute.
Yeah, he was quoting some guy about reductionist logic, and then I posted what he actually said, and then he blocked me.
How mature.
Yeah. I wasn't even trying to argue. Like, oh, you know, he didn't say that. He said this, and I just went to archive.org, right, and took a screenshot of his book and posted it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Oh well.
Ken is he's a little. He's nice until you kind of say, "Nah, Ken, I kind of don't agree with you," and then he's not nice.
Pleasant until challenged.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And like he had a lot of posts, and I don't know when the last time you were over there. I haven't been over there in a while, but he has a lot of posts.
Never.
It's Eric Murakami's forum. It's called Energetic Forum.
God, that's one place I probably will never go. You know what?
Why? I don't like it.
I know too much about Eric's history.
You can tell he's a snake oil salesman. Just like,
oh yeah, for sure. That's just the beginning of it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've heard some pretty bad stuff about him. So I'm not gonna
yeah. For 20 years, man. It's a long sordid trail with that guy, and no, I don't give him any airtime at all. There's so much more to expose myself to out there. I don't need his output.
I don't know what Dollar's problem is. Like, he's just like he promising stuff for years, dude, and not a goddamn thing has come out of it. That's all I know. Maybe there's something I don't know about. Dude, I'm sure you have your own opinions, though.
Dude, his name is Dullard. Not go get him.
Not sure what you mean.
Dollar talks a big game, but you know.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the game he's talking about at the time. Because when he does lecture on history and stuff,
his history, you know yes,
I mean?
Exactly.
That shit's great.
His history and theory of electricity and magnetism. That's like freaking phenomenal. It's the best. It's the best on the internet. It's the best I've ever seen by far.
I would
going
agree.
through the history of everything.
Yeah, you know, and it's just, it's not even that. It's the stuff that he was doing back in the 90s with the crew, with Brown. and Lindman.
And Lindman's the other guy, was Peter Lindman.
Yeah. Well, that's another guy that I'm really not impressed with over the years. I saw a video.
They're stuck like in their era, and they haven't like advanced, right? Like people kept working on the work they started or branching off from it, and they kind of stayed fossilized in like what they were doing at the time, and haven't kind of. That's just the way I see it from the outside.
I saw something that he did at an energy convention a couple of years ago to do with, oh God, I could barely remember it. Some high voltage spark gapping, and I don't even think he was magnetically quenching at the time either. But yeah, it was. He had these other old farts, these gray-haired guys standing around him, who were trying to pick his brain about what he was displaying on the table. And when I'm looking at the setup that he brought, I mean, as somebody who is, quote, skilled in the art, I know exactly what I'm looking at, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really deceptive. And you could see that it was purposefully so. Hold on a second here. I got a bug problem to deal with here on the desk here. There we go. Anyways.
Funding.
Yeah, he was definitely looking for funding. He was looking for something to finance his next phase of development, quote, of this particular technology that he had on the table. And it was...
That's what irritates me about these guys. I've been watching these guys on YouTube for freaking almost 20 years, and that nothing. You know what I mean? There's two types of people that do the electricity stuff. There's people that are just like pure experimenters. They're not trying to sell you anything. They're not saying, hey, give me some money so I can develop some new gadget, and this time it's really going to freaking give us free energy. Because there's those guys, right? The fundraiser guys. And then there's just like the pure experimentalist guys. You know?
Yeah,
I respect the pure experimentalist guys, because that shit's hard, dude. Inexpensive.
It is. It's a lot of effort and fairly expensive, but...
So many things can go wrong, as you know.
Well, yeah, but when I talk about myself in that context, for me, the focus is more about I want to know about it, and I'm up for that kind of cost and that kind of effort and that amount of time. Those many years that I'm prepared to spend on a particular technological vector, I'm into that, and I like to share what I find. You know what I mean? That I don't need to be able to sell something at the end in order to call it a success.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, Lindemann in this case was the exact opposite of that. He was bringing something to the table where he says, okay, the message he's delivering here is, look, I've got a mechanism at work here. I'm figuring something out. And here is something representative on this tabletop scale that I'm showing you that I'm intending to build. But I just don't have the funds. Jeez. And if I could have your money, then we could do this big. Now, the three guys with the white hair that are standing around, these fat fucks that are looking at it on the table, these guys are trying to pick his brain so that they can just go do it themselves, right? And Lindemann knows that. And that's why he did what he did on the table here. He used completely inappropriate parts to get the job done, such that it just barely... exactly. Because these guys are not, quote, skilled in the art. You know what I mean? That they haven't learned what they need to learn in order to manipulate this technology correctly, and they just kind of want to skip that. So Lindemann pulls out this piece of crap and puts it on the table, although it does demonstrate the science, of what he wants to get across to these guys, but it's a really piss poor contraption, And frankly, I think he shoots his own foot by doing that, because to the person who's not considering the analysis on this level, it appears that that's the best he's capable of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The whole thing is just like... Did you ever see that? I think the channel was called Old Man or something, like Old Man Electrician, or he made this like looked like a freaking Buddhist Vajra. It was like a double Tesla freaking. Dude, it's hard to describe, right? So imagine imagine a Tesla coil, right? The upright with the ball at the end. He made a double one of these that was like handheld, dude. It was freaking retarded.
Oh, it sounds like you're talking more like a Van Rapp generator contraption that just happens to be transformered up.
No, it's like he connected 2 Tesla coils like end to end. Right?
So he just up the voltage, and then what?
Yeah, he was just showing it on a table. I can't remember if it was, this guy made like all these. He was really into like the Tesla coils, so he had a whole bunch of versions of it. But that's all he did was like experiments. The dude never asked for money. He was just like experimenting with different pancake coils.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah.
When you mentioned Tesla coils and he had one end to end and he was doing that and this, you know what I mean? That when I look at the lay people,
bifilar coils, I think that were. I can't remember how he wired them. I can't remember. This is a long time ago. This is over 10 years ago.
That's something that I wish the audience would take the time to, avert their gaze from the standard cylindrical transformer that is known as the Tesla coil, which is nothing more than a flyback. You know what I mean? It's just a couple of turns of the primary and thousands of turns in the secondary, and oh boy, the voltage is really high and you can run it resonant. Okay, great. That is really just
toy, really.
It's scratching the surface of what Tesla did. Like, in my mind, the first thing I would like audiences to check out is exactly what you just mentioned. Bifilar pancake coils are the shit. In terms of inductance and what they do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The self-capacitance, that was like a...
Yeah. Evo was getting onto that for a while. Did you see his stuff?
Yeah. The self-capacitance of the bifilar coil. The other thing with that is he showed an animation of what the magnetic field is. I'm really curious as to what the actual magnetic field of a bifilar coil looks like, because some of the turns are running in the opposite direction. So, that's creating a bucking field within the strata itself, if you're going to do that. No, you actually have to run the coil in the same direction again and again in series to get that kind of benefit. Yeah.
You have to run them congruent polarity in order to achieve that alteration in inductive rate, for example. What's going on the hysteretic side. Because you could core these things too. I never saw anybody even think about that. You know what I mean? That you could drop a nice short squat cylinder and wrap your bifilers around that. Flat pancake bifilar style, right? Further, I don't see anybody engaging in Litz wire with the same concept. That it was always parallel, side by side, bifilar windings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That there's no twisting going on. And there's mutual inductance benefit there that nobody's thinking about. It boggles the mind when I look at the lay people who think that the Tesla coil, quote, which is nothing more than a high voltage transformer, cylindrical, plain, and it's 2 pieces of fucking wire, is the answer to free energy.
It just certainly is not.
You know what I mean? And it is the lay people have given this contraption just immense amounts of godlike qualities. Mystical qualities that it doesn't have, never did, never gonna.
It do. I mean, he used it for that purpose, right? To fascinate crowds and light up light bulbs, and he's guilty of it too. Like,
to introduce a really large voltage potential, sure, that's what you use it for. Great. All this one-wire technology that people keep talking about, that's nothing more than carelessness. That's setting people up to get electrocuted by becoming human spark gaps. You know what I mean?
That's a bad idea.
Very, very bad idea. Unless you really like the idea of having your skin punctured by thousands of electrons in an instant.
I mean, we should do, not tonight, but sometime in the future, we should get, because there's a couple questions that you might be able to answer about, the magnifying transmitter.
Yeah, that'd be hot.
Because I don't think anyone's ever actually done a replication of that. I know people say they have, but every replication I've seen is missing a key part in the patent.
Oh, right. Well, that brings up 2 points, and I guess we could just bridge it all into 1 point. If you're going to bring up questions like that to me, the requisite is that you bring detailed diagrams, whether they're correct or not.
The patent.
Don't matter. I mean, well, the patent ones are intentionally vague. I mean, Meyer is a classic example, and that's something you'll find on my very own channel in one of the 2 live streams that I've got up there from years ago. That they do that to protect themselves, just like I spoke about Lindman with his contraption, that he's changing it, but it's still the same thing and still displays the technology that he wants you to learn about or he wants to showcase, but it really isn't doing it the best way. And Meyer was a classic example of that, throwing a blocking diode into his circuitry when he's claiming a resonant function. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'd be interested
think a lot of the geometric configuration of these electrical systems is way more important than people have, I think, ever realized. They're always like, the voltage, the resistance. All those things are important. But how they functions as a system, I think, a lot like the bifilar coil, right? And whether you stick something in the center of it, right, a cylinder, like that totally changes the geometry of the electric field, the magnetic field. Like, there's so many configurations. How can any human being or even any group of human beings go through every possible one? Like, I don't know. I just think that we've only gotten so far in electrical engineering because that key component, having a theory, a geometric theory that matches the phenomenon, right? The actual physical geometry of how far apart are the wires, how long is the wire, what is their shape relative to each other? Is it a square? Is it a circle? Is it a
orientation?
Cylinder? Is it you know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that part is if someone figures that out, that'll propel us forward. And people will be making these 3D printed circuits that do way more than any old circuit could ever do.
Pyramid-shaped coils, magnetically quenching the spark gap, on and on and on. The things that are not being embraced by the mainstream is just such a long list, tragically so.
So that's one of the things about the magnifying transmitter. If you read the patent, it says the top is covered in a bunch of hemispheric domes. I'm like, why the hell does he have a bunch of hemispheric domes? And it was to make sure that there was no sharp parts sticking out and then maximize the surface area. That's what he's trying to do, to maximize the surface. Why the hell would he do that, right? So just that, if he would have made it out of something else, because a Tesla coil on the top is just a globe, right? It's just a sphere. Well, if you have a sphere covered in a bunch of hemispheres, it has a lot more surface area.
Well, just consider that it's dome-shaped due to radiative formula. It's all about R squared.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's dome-shaped. And you're right that he wants to have nothing sharp on it to eliminate the possibility that it's just going to arc to the ground through somebody when you rank up the voltage. Yeah.
I have a whole theory about that, but I don't want to get into it now.
Yeah, sure.
It's supposed to be a flat Earth server.
Well, we're kind of near. We're flat Earth adjacent, I think.
Yeah, we're definitely.
All right.
I think we still just got in under the wire so far in this conversation. It stemmed from something flat earthy.
Well, speaking of flat Earth, and Ken Wheeler, that's how I found Bill Gaty. Bill Gaty, who runs Rational Science, had a challenge to flat earthers, which was why when a car accelerates, does the balloon not accelerate as fast? You know that classic
God,
balloon
not
thing?
that shit. Oh, God. William, of whatever the fuck
his take on it, his take on it was very interesting because I don't know if you know that guy, but he's famous for what's called rope hypothesis.
It rings a bell. With the balloon in the van.
Stealing AMD's blueprints and then fleeing to Cuba.
That's just all
What?
about.
He did that?
Oh yeah.
What was that? I missed that.
He was an engineer at AMD and or Intel, and then fled to Cuba with specs or whatever for the design of some chip Intel or AMD.
God, why would he go to Cuba? Holy crap!
Because he was a communist.
Maybe he knows the family. Then I can see that. But anything short of that, that's dumb. Cuba's a shithole. I mean, I speak from personal experience. Okay,
I've watched some videos about it. It's pretty. Like them going into restaurants, they're like, I don't even know what this is.
I think it was 3 years ago that I actually went for my birthday for a solar return. That I was just west of Havana for the second week of November a couple of years ago, and oh my God, there are the places around wherever in the countryside where the white man has come in and developed a tourist zone. You know what I mean? And then there are the in-betweens where the natives live, and they have their schools and their malls and their shopping centers and their bus routes and their banks and and a lot of their houses in betweens. And the contrast is staggering. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, much farther off the flat Earth topic. But no, I can't picture why anybody would want to spend some time in Cuba. That's just insane. Yikes. I mean, if you had like the choice to pick the country, that would not be my first 20. You know what I mean? If I were going to flee, I would pick Uruguay. Which is, of course, where I'm at right now. But that's another story.
Rich people live in decent areas in Cuba.
Yeah, all 80 of them. You know what I mean?
Let's do a lighthearted quiz.
Sure.
So first, I got to remember this guy's name. Indio will help me. It's the guy we always quote from MIT about certain optics things. Who has crazy hair.
Llewellyn?
Yeah, Llewellyn. So who has the best hair? Bill Gates, Llewellyn, or Einstein?
Oh, wow. I guess that's a subjective call. No, I don't think I could answer that one. I'd have to see pictures side by side, and I could give you an opinion, I suppose. Just answering Sheepdog's almost hour-old question there on the DM. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm back to focusing.
So, Stone, have you heard some of the new Flat Earth music on the Flat Earth radio?
No, I haven't.
It's playing 24/7. If you scroll up in the server, you can find it.
Okay, so skill testing question. How much of it is produced using AI?
Currently, all of it, because I am just populating the radio with AI.
Gotcha.
But it's the infrastructure is there for other flat earthers to add their music to the radio bot to have it played.
Okay, feel free to extract mine. And just throw my label on top. Just say, hey, yo, Stone wrote this. I do a little bit of parody. Have you guys heard my tunes?
That's awesome. I can add your socials or links to your channels into the metadata, and if they do /info, the bot will give them the lyrics if I have them, or just the embed with the link and the basic metadata.
Oh, well, that's something you could easily produce, because I subtitle all my music videos as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So,
I'll extract it from there.
So on Rumble, just type out FE Man of Stone, all one word.
Yeah,
we'll
I'll add that to the radio. I'll consider this auditory license to play your music on the radio.
Yeah, by all means. The first song was called Lats and Longs, and I co-wrote that with Dave.
That's funny.
New Perspective. Yeah, that's a great song.
For everybody, just so they know, I posted Stone's Rumble link. It's in the content creator channel. So
cool, man.
That's up. I also posted in the main chat. So
we did a spoof of Hey There Delilah called Hey NASA Liars, and you'll find one in there about Light Propagation, and that is the Green Day cover of the Who song My Generation. And it's called Light Propagation. Shane loves that one. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, that was a blast. And I think there's one other one in there somewhere, too.
Yeah, I used to perform my own rap songs myself. I just don't think they're as good as the AI songs I make.
Cool, man. Well, actually, now that you mention it, I am trying to pull it off of the back burner. I've already written out the lyrics to a rap song, and it's MC Hammer, a parody of one of his tunes, of course, the famous tune. Everybody knows it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'm not letting the cat out of the bag until I release that. You guys are gonna love that one. It's hot. But it's another thing I just gotta get done. So many things in the way, not just real life, obligations, Yesterday, one of the comments came from another Globey zealot named PD194. You know that guy?
I've spoken to him many times, yeah.
Okay, well, he's got a video that he was pointing at in his comment, saying, "Hey, you're looking for curvature. Well, here it is," and he just drops the tag to his video, which is actually a photograph he claims somebody else took, Jack somebody or other, at Southport. So that's the southwest corner of the UK, looking across the water through an amusement park, and where a big tower is at the mountains on the far side of that in the background. And it's the standard, okay, how come the tower's higher than this when it should be that, or that, the other way around, right? It's because there's drop. Yeah, game over, Flurf. Well, I took a quick look at that last night, end of the evening, right? So I didn't have a lot of time. And frankly, it looks fake as fuck. So I responded to him, and I said, frankly, that's how it looks. And after I do more digging, and when I do prove that that's actually the fact, I'm going to make a video to expose you. You know what I mean? That I don't smile, I don't act kindly to people who drop propaganda on us as if it's fact. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
He's offering this picture as proof of curvature when he didn't take the picture, for one, and it's probably fake, for two. And he's slapping it around. It reminds me of this other guy, Christian Avalos, I think his name is, something close to that. The guy's barely English literate. He's doing the same kind of shit. He shoots or brings pictures of stuff and says, "Okay, flatties, explain that." When all you got to do is a little bit of digging, a little bit of homework, and plot a little bit of topography, and the answer just pops right out. Why we're looking at what we're looking at, and it's not fucking Earth curvature.
I know what you mean.
You know,
I just like to listen, but then they come in being super fallacious, and I'm like, bro, just stop. This is a fallacy. Like, I can't listen to that for too long.
Yeah, no, neither can I. And when I come across stuff like that, I am divinely inspired to put together the debunk. The data-driven, definitive debunk to expose these people for what they are. You know what I mean? And make it public. I am absolutely driven. Like I feel it on a deep inner life purpose kind of level. That is how I derive joy in this arena. You know what I mean? That shining the big giant flashlight of truth on the whole thing and watching those little bugs crawl into the corner.
Yeah. When you're passionate and inspired about a subject or you're talking about a thing, it's easy to get lost in it and just like flow. I totally get you.
Yeah, and that's what's keeping me from putting up my rap tune. Is that like now I got this dude on the front burner. He's in my crosshair right now in my mind. Like when I'm going to sleep at night, I'm thinking, dude, Petey, your moment is coming. I can feel it. You know what I mean? And I need to do that before I'm done, before anything else can happen, you know? Soon.
Where did that happen on? Was it on Aether Cause or was it on another Discord?
Right on the Globebusters channel. He dropped that. Okay. He actually interrupted a dialogue I was having with Jenna Ferrari, who originally commented on the video yesterday after watching it, and she was asking a clarifying question on what the slope looks like in this area and that scenario, and she was kind of missing the point. So I responded. I said, okay, well, actually, it's like this, and you need to consider that. And while she was busy responding to that response, Peter just dropped right on and shit on it with his video. That's like not relevant to what we're talking about at all, other than, hey man, you're looking for Earth curvature. Why are you going to spend all this money renting planes and stuff? I got it for you right here. Come check out my 4-minute video. Stupid flurf. And yeah, he's asking for it. He really is.
Is that in the Globebusters video?
It's in the comment section of the one I did yesterday. Yeah, it's in the streams tab, not the videos tab, right?
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I spent an hour and a half laying this down yesterday. This was 11 pages.
Coming in and not even talk about the subject text that you're talking about, right? Is just rude.
Yeah, he's just spamming. Rude. Really rude. So, yeah, we're going to respond, I think. Well, we're going to look into it first. And if it goes the way that it invariably has gone in the past, he's going to get his.
Good. I mean, it's the same thing all the time. It's just really weird. I've never seen a flat earther fake stuff yet.
What would be the motivation? You know?
That's what I mean. I don't understand. Like, why would you want people to believe the Earth is a globe because you faked something and they believed it and was like, oh, there's proof?
The only scenario I can think of is if you also want to sell them something.
Maybe.
And I, only until recently, earlier, I think this year, did I create a coffee account. And that was on somebody else's advice or request. You know what I mean? And then that guy dropped me $100.
I totally get you. I've been making music and people have been telling me, make some way we can contribute to you, and I'm like, nah, I don't feel like
well, some
this
do.
It's not about money to me. This is about just the truth and what's observable and basic logic. The money doesn't matter at all. And I recently put out these 2 albums, and somebody bought them. So I'm like,
cool.
Well, I'm not gonna use this money on myself. I'm going to somehow roll it back into the community. I'm going to find some way to invest it back into the community. That's
as noble as it gets, man. No, for sure.
It's for the community. It's by the community. So why would I waste it on me?
I just attribute it to my materials cost of what I've been doing for years. You know what I mean? This is just I'm getting paid later in life or whatever. How you want to think about that?
You're using it for the community, for the material cost to get you more information, more data to expose this shit.
For sure. Conversely, I've never paywalled anything ever.
Exactly.
Anywhere.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You mean you don't have a course that teaches you how to be a man to help your wife out for $350?
I don't sell my personal time for $1,000 a session like Jay, the Mr. J does. No, I don't do that. No.
Dude, my favorite was the virtual dinner where you just eat dinner while you're on cam with them. I'm like, what?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm chewing my mouth off, but I have to pay for that shit.
Well, when it came to the coffee account, I just saw it as, again, I'm just meeting people at their level of need. Some people need to donate. Some people want to throw cash at a situation and think that's a solution if they can't be part of the people who are on the team to build the gear or solve the formula, get the data, you know what I mean? That some people just are so busy in their own lives, and they're just like, well, I want something to happen here. Who can I give some money to? How can we get this going? You know, I will get this ball rolling, and I want to meet those people at their level of need too, so they feel better about themselves. Awesome. Even that'd be fine. Yeah. But it's not so I can get rich.
If you don't want the money, just send it my way. I need to raise $300,000.
Oh no! Every once in a while, like on my Telegram channel, we talk about projects and what we could be doing, like building a rocket and driving down to the south tip of South America, which for me is not a very long drive, and firing southward up at 45, and maybe we'll hit the firmament down there when it's presumably at a lower altitude, and do it in a way where we're not going to get caught, etc. It's like, okay, hey Stone, what do you think that kind of budget would be? You know what I mean? Hey Stone, what if we're going to build a fucking airship and just do it ourselves? What's the budget? You know, what would you need? That kind of thing. I get those kinds of questions. Not that we ever act on them, but that dialogue comes up a lot.
Well, I want a multi-gyroed unit that can be taken over the surface of the Earth from one location to another.
You're kind of breaking up there. You want to build a gyro? What?
A gyro unit which has multiple gyros that are completely open. So what I mean by that is there's some gyros out there that they have proprietary data inside them. So you want ones that don't have that stuff. That you know everything how it's working, right? So you can see the raw data, not the processed data.
So you're thinking mechanical gyro, not a fiber optic or anything like that?
All of them.
Oh, you want
oriented in different directions, spun up. Some spun up this way, some spun up that way. At least in two axes, right? The vertical and the horizontal.
A multi-type gyroscopic array.
Yeah, in a box that's being live streamed, recorded, all that stuff, and then have two of them that are redundant. So one can go from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the West Coast to the East Coast, and then back again, and then from north to south, south to north, and back again. And if they're not displaced, yeah. So for example, I was thinking, I think it's I-40 goes all the way from Boston to the West Coast. It's like 3,500 miles.
Oh yeah.
And then I-95 is like 1,500 miles. And so either one of those you go, you're going to get about like 17.5 degrees displacement north to south, and then of course you're going to get 50, I think, east to west.
Yeah.
West
so you just want to take advantage of rigidity in space, but I think the problem here is that as it would be, gyros, regardless of their nature, are simply not fit for the task. Have you guys seen my 35-minute analysis of Bob's fiber optic gyro data? Nobody.
No. Even if they're not fit for the task, it wouldn't matter because it zeroes out and it would still debunk some Glover claims. And I already got plenty of Glovers that said if this result doesn't come out to Globe results, they would be forced to accept the Earth as flat. So at least for them, it'd be definitive.
No, it won't. We need to end this entire chapter of the argument definitively, and I thought I had done that. The problem is nobody's seen the bloody video, and I put it out quite a while ago, and it was a lot of effort to produce.
You're a horrible self-promoter.
It's something that nobody had done up until the point when I actually did fully analyze the data of the experiment itself and the readings they took in multiple locations at multiple times. You know what I mean? They had all that data and they sat on it for years until after Bob freaking died. And then somebody, years later, no, I'm not kidding. Years later, someone said, hey, Chris Matra, hey, dude, where's the data? And I was one of those people asking for it. You know what I mean? Because I'm tired of listening to people saying, oh, thanks, Bob, when they don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I mean? Because they've never seen the data. Nobody ever had. It had never been looked at.
Every time.
It was ridiculous. So, guys, that is a requisite piece of information. Anybody
you have it on your Rumble, the video?
You bet. You absolutely bet. It's
What's the title off the top of your head, if you know?
Let me just jump it up for you. I'll find it for you.
I would love to see that. We had Bob explain it to us in person. But what about infrared cameras? This is one of the tests I would like to have repeated a lot so that we have confirmations that we can shove in their face. And that's having infrared cameras mounted right next to visible light cameras.
Okay, hold that thought.
So you're looking for when you see too far beyond the geometric horizon, and then looking in the infrared to see if the horizon appears closer to the observer. That debunks their ad hoc assumptions that light is hiding the Earth curve, etc.
Yeah, Jay Tolan has a lot of data on that. A lot of flights, a lot of shots, a lot of setups, a lot of camera work. I leave him to that argument.
But I think it would be more conclusive for the Globers to have more data.
Oh, it would, from more people. I agree. But frankly, I consider what he has done as fairly conclusive. So I don't personally feel the need to
he's done great work. We're dealing with people who don't have a rational standard of evidence, and they have a very double standard.
Oh, for sure. So the video in question here, it's called Fiber Optic Gyroscope Analysis Globebusters, Bob Nodell. You know what I mean? Real easy to find. And it's up on the Rumble channel. Okay. I mean, it's got hundreds of views over on BitChute. Pardon? Oh, yeah.
So when they were doing it way back when, I got to see some of the data, like a little teeny piece of it, less than maybe 100 entries of the output in a spreadsheet, and that's all I got to see.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to say you gave it to me, but
all right. Let's say that. Let's pause for a second. Let's say that's all well and good, and you're correct. But there's plenty of people who have no idea what you're talking about because you haven't even gave a little primer about what it's about.
Who are you talking to?
Me and you are talking shop, and
we all know. Yeah, we all know. Like the in guys know, but nobody else knows.
Yeah, very true. And this is why I'm saying, look, everybody
just say, take a primer and sell it. That's great and all. Sell it real quick.
Well, I'll give the exposition. So
here and now?
Yeah, I'll just do it right now. Well, I mean, we are live streaming, so we try to.
Okay.
Because people listen and they're like, "What the hell are these two talking about?" Okay, so Bob Nodell, there was a Netflix documentary, and Bob Nodell said in it that they measured 15 degrees per hour Earth rate drift of the fiber optic gyro. Well, on Netflix, they claimed there was a ring laser gyro and a bunch of other stuff. That's not important. But the actual data was never revealed on if there was any Earth rate drift, and if there was, what was actually measured.
Mm-hmm.
So that's anybody listening, that's what we're going over. What the actual data was, the actual gyro output.
But even when Bob was telling people about his results, he had not fully analyzed this data, and he never did. They took summary computations from some of the data, right? And there were just so many aspects of the method that were confounding. I can't believe they did what they did when they did what they did.
Weren't they doing the data I saw? They were taking 1 minute time intervals.
No, quite the opposite. They were taking it at the millisecond kind of resolution.
Oh my goodness gracious!
That one data pass. We're talking hundreds of thousands of data points for 10 minutes worth of data. Because it's 3 axes. And it's temperature data also coming out of it at the same time. It's been a while. I mean,
the temperature was pretty high if it's freaking dude, because you're in the digital signal processor, right?
Dude, they created a thermal gradient across the unit itself. No, really, you need to see this 35.5-minute video that I put together, man. Really. Remember when I was talking before that it was about Eric and Derek when they said some stupid things?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
My goodness.
And I don't necessarily tear Bob apart so much as I do Chris. Because he's actually the guy who did a lot of the moving and shaking on this one.
So what do you think about the Pikes Peak stuff? The one where they got the Seventh-day Truth Seeker got the... He put the fiber optic gyro in a vacuum chamber and evacuated the air and got a lower drift rate.
What?
Yeah, his channel's gone now because he freaking said some stuff during COVID, but he had there was a video called Pikes Peak Data where he had the spreadsheets where, and I have a link to the paper still. So they take a fiber optic gyro, they evacuated it in a vacuum chamber, and the so-called drift rate decreases.
Well, that's kind of bizarre because that's not how they work. How do you?
I know, but that's what the data said.
How do you change the vacuum state of the chamber through which the light is traveling through solid conduit, a fiber optic? You know what I mean?
In the description was a hold on. So in the description that for that video that existed along with this, he has a link which I still got the paper. It's a paper, it's in Russian, but they got the same result in a published Russian paper of lowering the pressure and getting a different output out the gyro.
I've heard.
I'll DM that to you, by the way. I mean,
I've heard
Russian,
about.
You can read the graphs, you know.
The arena where I've heard of that kind of manipulation in the technique, where it's have any efficacy at all, is in interferometry, where the light is passing through open space, through air, you know what I mean, or vacked out, like with LIGO or whatever else you want to think about. Since then, I don't know if it was Wang. It might even have been. So it was a Russian guy, and I don't think it was Galev either, but somebody else, not Adsikovsky. Excuse me, but it was, I believe, a Russian or somebody who's not so good at English wrote up the paper. And his assertion was part of the sensitivity problem, the resolution problems, had to do with vacuuming it out and like putting the whole mirror setup in a completely depressurized environment, that they got different data out of it.
If you look in the live stream voice text, you can see I have already screenshotted some of these things.
All right.
And the reason they tested it in the vacuum chamber is because they were in Colorado or whatever. They were getting different results, and then they thought, dude, we're at different altitudes. Maybe the pressure is doing something, and then to see Rick Zimmerman, whose gyro it actually was, put it in a vacuum chamber, and he had a video of the vacuum chamber and the outputs and all that stuff. But he said some stuff during COVID and got his channel nuked.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm just telling you. I'm just reporting. I'm just reporting what I've seen.
I don't think this is the paper that I was reading, but it could just be another one that is congruent. Based on the polynomial first degree. Yeah, get into the math, boys. Having a good time. Atmospheric pressure effect on output signal of the FOG. That just seems entirely antithetical. It's.
I know it doesn't make sense.
No, none whatsoever.
Unless outgassing or something of the frickin'
of the strata. Yeah. I possibly
outgassed, right? It's not. It's a glass.
But still,
glass,
that's
right?
only going to be a superficial effect on a solid.
Yeah, but it's glass.
That's what I mean.
I mean, glass is like an amorphous solid, so there might be entrained air inside of it that's outgassing and changing, because it is an interferometer, right? It only has to change like the refractive properties, because it's a fiber optic, right? So it has a radial refractive index gradient, and maybe if it changes that, because you got to remember the thing is calibrated to get in a certain expectation value, right? It expects a certain value for us to give it gets a certain value, it gives a certain output. And if you get a different value because the properties of the light are different in the fiber in that condition, then it'll just read as some different output.
I can't even speak on
obviously.
it. Yeah, I can't even speak on that. I wouldn't know what to say. You know what I mean? I'd have to look at the setup.
I mean, it's the only thing I could think of.
Bizarre.
Because inside it, so this is drawn, like fiber optic cables are like drawn glass, right? And glass is technically still, it's actually not even a solid. It's supposed to be still in some quasi-solid liquid state. Right? They've said, I've heard when I was a kid, I've never verified, that very old glass is thicker at the bottom than the top because it's flowing.
Nah.
So if that's true, it might be more susceptible to outgassing than a regular material. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm just guessing.
I'm just trying to throw this Bob Nodell video tag into the same chat.
Yeah.
With and without the tracking data to see if the thumbnail comes up, and neither is the case. So I'm going to take the tracking out again.
Indio, you ever seen the pitch drop experiment?
Pitch drop? I don't think so.
It's like back in the day they used to think pitch was a solid, and then somebody's like, "Oh, it's a liquid." Yeah, and then they put the pitch in this thing like a funnel, and like I can't remember the amount of years. Maybe Homeboy will help me out here, but it's like, I think
it's like 19 years per drop.
Yeah. So it's like a drop. It's like a leaky faucet, right? But it takes 19 years for the stretch of pitch to drop off.
They also say that really old glass panes eventually become thicker at the bottom than the top.
Yeah,
because it's
I've heard that. Mm-hmm. Because it's a semi-solid.
Yeah. Wait a minute, was that deja vu?
Yes. There's a
Mandela effect.
Was that the same black cat or a different one?
Hidden plan race. Okay, let me stay out of that. And lobby. I'm just trying to catch up on all the text that's been going by here.
Yeah, I read that comment, and that guy, I don't know, that dude's a doofus. I can't even find the video he's talking about. The guy in the Glowbusters comments.
Oh, Petey?
Yeah.
Yeah, Timbo actually posted it. It's all about this Blackpool Tower thing. Where was that?
What? They're still doing Blackpool Tower?
Live stream voice text. Yeah, Timbo posted that. Let's see, at 41 minutes after the last hour.
Okay, so I'm aware of this one.
Yeah.
This Blackpool Tower image, this isn't the full image, the one that he posted. It's cropped. And you know why they cropped it? Because the horizon is too far away.
Yeah.
So they crop out the edge of this land so you can't see the water, because then you would be able to see that the horizon's past 9 miles and it should be 6 miles.
Well, the one that Timbo posted, where it is indeed zoomed in and cropped, I think this is entirely photoshopped.
It's not entirely photoshopped, because that's what I thought when I first saw it. The original of this was published in some, I think, the Irish Times, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the person captioned it that said this is like an enhanced image or something like that. That they use some sort of color correction to fix it.
Enhanced, hey?
Like he didn't take it for the purpose of proving the globe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was trying to get art and then like get it into the newspaper. He's like a freelance photographer.
Yeah. Well, Then we have this one that Rayleigh Criterion posted, the two-framer. And stacking 25 images to produce it. I think there's a bigger issue with both of these frames, and that is observer height. That if you were looking from an observer height of what PD claims was 8 meters in the other shot that Timbo posted, you would not see this much of the foreground detail, you know what I mean, over tops of houses and shit. 10, 20,
Here, I
30,
found it. I got the original.
Away.
There's so much crap in this server, bro. Like, all I had to do was search my name in Blackpool Tower, and I found the original link to the original image. Here, I'll post it in the chat.
Sure.
It's on his Flickr page.
Loading up Blackpool, Lakes, yada, sure. Oh, this is supposed to be the original?
Yes. That's the original photographer right there, Kevin Jackson. Shows you the camera.
Yeah.
Show settings.
Okay, well, if...
But he does say it's edited, I think.
I did a quick perspective check in Google Earth, and I don't like to do that as a typical method, but just something quick I did last night that I was mentioning. And in order for the roller coaster on the left to be so far or so close to, far away from, so close to the tower with respect to what's going on behind it, to squeeze that many peaks in between, this is how you're going to triangulate your observer distance. And when you do that and match it on Google Earth, or at least remotely closely to the one that Timbo posted a minute or 41 minutes after last hour, you'd be out in the fucking water taking the picture, not on the land farther away. You know what I mean? This is why I'm saying that I think this is total contrivance. Look at the hills; they're all white in the background. All the whatever they called them, the DAG or some stupid. Get back to the other tab. What do you call that thing? The Dow crag, right? That there's that peak, and then there's the one to the left, and then there's the one to the left, and then there's the one to the left, and the one to the left, and one to the left. That all of those peaks show the sun way off to the left in the picture. You know what I mean? At this moment that it was taken. But nothing around this amusement park or where the tower are is lit from the same angle. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The lighting is all messed up. None of it makes sense.
It looks like a totally contrived image. And that's my problem.
Hey, brother, let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen, there's this Google Earth, and then there's a similar database, similar to Google Earth, but it's just for shadows. And it can tell you shadows at certain times of day. Have you ever seen that before?
I've heard of it. I've never been there.
Well, maybe it would help you in I'm not sure because I've never used it myself, but supposedly it could help you in your deep crack in this one.
Possibly. But again, I relied on Google Earth to identify the peaks and what I should expect to see in a width and an FOV like this. And I'm pretty happy with that level of precision. But I suppose, yeah, I could be doing that too. We'll see how far I have to go. You know what I mean? How much effort really is required to prove that this is bullshit. I mean, I can appreciate that it's a low tide shot, but I don't think he took it from the, let me again go back to this parking lot that he claims he took it from. And I'm going to boot my Google Earth right now because I saved it. I've already started pinning these locations. and it was the Velvet Trail car park, if that rings a bell for you guys. He claims that that's where this picture was taken from.
I do remember back in the day, some of the anti-flat Earth Globers were doing a lot of like composite shots with this because they were trying to do that, that back and forth shot where they say, "This is what you see, this is what you should see," and then they flip it back and forth. And so they did a lot of overlays, and maybe somebody came across one of those overlays and just thought it was the actual image, and then tried to lie and say they took the photo.
Could be. Wouldn't put it past them for a second.
Oh yeah, it's definitely happened in here many times. Not with this one, but other ones.
Okay, so let's just save that image to my old desktop, so when I follow up I have more data. That's awesome. Thanks for posting that. Really? Good stuff, man. But yeah, to me that's just irritating when I see that kind of thing. Maybe it's just their response to us posting stuff like Canagoo. You know?
Well, obviously the guy's just trying to run interference. You're talking about something new, and he's going to post something that, I posted this. This is back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago. Why are you bringing up old stuff?
Yeah,
If
why
that
are they
didn't do
still talking about it? Yes.
Yeah, it didn't do it then. What changed?
I guess they still haven't found a significant life purpose.
You know what my favorite...
I think they did it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Indio, you know what my favorite one is of that? It's that table with the red pieces of metal against the horizon, and then they zoom in on it and squinch it, and the red pieces of metal are curved, but they always forget to show the table in the same shot. And they keep bringing that up, dude. It's like, dude, why did you crop the table out? And they're like, I didn't. This is the image, I promise. And then I'm like, okay, let me search our history. Here it is. Oh, there's a table. And guess what? The table's curved too. Wow.
Table looks like a curved meat cleaver chopping block, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Another good one for that type of example of exploitation is Pontchartrain. Taylor took them to task on that one. Had a great time. She went straight to the people who built that bridge, who maintained that bridge, and obtained all of the physical plans of both phases of the project. You know what I mean? And she sent them to me. So, of course, then I mapped it out to scale. And I've got a fair bit of history looking at architectural plans and stuff. And I noticed that there are no mentions of curvature, anything to do with elevational change other than strictly referring to water level. To the city indexed terms, and they're right on the plan, to do with that lake and the expected levels over time, and that it's the same data point across the entire 24 miles. You know what I mean?
It's funny how all these things segue. Dude, it's funny how all these things segue together. I just searched our back history for the curved table. That came up immediately, and then other images talking about Pontchartrain also came up.
Small
That's
world.
so sad, bro.
Small world.
My goodness. I mean, Pontchartrain. If you just thought about Pontchartrain for 5 minutes, 30,000 plus cars go over that bridge daily. Right?
Yeah.
It should be like modern folklore that you could see the curve of the earth there.
Yeah. Should be. There should be a sign-up place and a place to sit and look and observe it from there.
Dude, that's what I've been saying. It would be a tourist trap. Right at the end of the bridge, there'd be a little thing with binoculars and
yeah, the little put your quarter in there for 20 seconds to look through it and
globes.
Yeah, people
I used
from
to
all
think
over America, from all over the world to see that.
Yeah, but remember when Brian Mullen was doing Force the Line? I used to think that would be a good place to put Force the Line, right out against the side of the bridge. So as you're driving along the bridge, you can see the Force the Line, stay parallel with the water or raise up.
Well, I don't know, man. With Force the Line, there's so much room for physical error. I mean, you got to get those suckers exactly square and support the weight and no. That's so much work and production cost. And frankly, I don't know. Conversely, I guess other side of the coin, it would be exactly the kind of thing I would expect to see in a Disney park to demonstrate curvature.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The guys at Disney, they've got the budget to produce something that has that kind of physical demand on tolerance.
You know what, brother? You know what? It would be a sweet roller coaster, but it's almost like a straight line where you just get on this really fast roller coaster going straight, and then you see this line on the side of you, and you and the line diverge because it's raising in altitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it was proven the Earth curve
or lowering, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun to see, along with a Cavendish experiment. That's the one I sack globies with on Friday nights a lot, is that if mass really did attract mass, why don't we see that in Disney parks where they have gargantuan masses floating on near frictionless bearings, attracting each other over and over and over? Why don't
actually,
we
you know what I just thought of something, dude. The best place I know Disney could pull it off, but they wouldn't do these speeds. The best place to pull off to Force the Line to where you could be on the side of it watching it would be like on a maglev bullet train, going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, Elon, all the way.
And yeah, because you'd be able to see it. Because otherwise, like if you're going on even if you're going on a 60-mile-hour roller coaster, it'd be like 3 minutes minimum.
Yeah. I think we should just get the plans off the Japanese for their trains. Like they laid track, and it's all maglev, and it's all 220 miles an hour or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There's the precision demands on a layout like that are through the roof. If you want to have an avoidance of absolute disaster when you run something across it that fast. Like it's got to be dead straight, and it's the reason that SR-72s don't turn while they're going really fast. You know what I mean? It's one of those. There's an inertial problem you cannot ignore at that kind of velocity, and you're right. It would be an absolutely cool thing to see, right side by side out your window. You know what I mean? That'd be neat. Really neat. Oh well, too bad I don't own one of those. Cool. Railway. Yeah, that'd be hot. Okay, so yeah, Kevin Jackson, that's the guy who took the picture, or claims to, back in 2021. With his Nikon. Oh, yeah. Yes, we'll be looking into that, just to see how things go. But guys, it's 20 after 2 my time right now. So if there's any other questions or comments you want to throw my way, now would be the time. Otherwise, I'll be doing the crash thing.
I got no questions. I'm going to be watching your videos, so...
yes, by all means.
I had a good time.
Yeah, and if you guys feel like it, the detail is everywhere. It's probably on my BitChute channel the last time I remember actually putting it somewhere. But the invite link for the Stone Cold Truth channel on Telegram is a great place to find me, other than just plain old @ManOfStone on Telegram. You just hit me up there, DM me, and I can send you the links to the relevant places. And get any subsequent questions answered, etc. Oh, there was one I was going to answer here, and it was, I believe, Wesley who just posted something. I gotta find which text place that actually happened, though. And he's not in the VC with us here. So where did it go? Locker room. I should have tagged it when I found it. There it is in the lobby. Was there a reason you gave a budget for a plane that can't even fly on ILS glide slope? Well, okay. Wesley, if you're listening, if you watched my presentation yesterday, you'll notice that when I was handing out price quotes for renting planes, I also brought into the discussion protocol of calling up these people and asking them if they do indeed have ILS-related hardware on the craft as well. That I don't necessarily know that I did give a budget for a plane or recommend a particular plane that can't fly an ILS glide slope. More than that, I also pointed out that in more recent years, especially in the Garmin end of the hardware that you find in typical civilian aircraft at this level, that the graphics capabilities have really come along, and that they're using GPS-assisted function now in producing 3D representations, graphically speaking, in the display of your position relative to that glide slope. That it's not just a pink diamond on a vertical slider anymore. It's far more enhanced in terms of the experience for the pilot. So I really don't understand the question. Let's just put it that way. All right, that clears that up. And if Wesley doesn't hear this and you see him before I do, feel free to forward my answer. Or refer him to the live stream point where we're talking about it right here. Yeah. But really, when I look through the comments, and there were only half a dozen at the time immediately after the stream yesterday, there was another butthurt Globie who decided to just puke all over the place with a comment to the effect of, "Oh man, this thing has so many flaws in it, I can't even count, it's just ridiculous why anybody would even consider this thing," but gave absolutely zero substance in his comment. Just the nuh-uh hand wave, and that was it. And, geez, I wish the Globies had more to offer. Then we would have something to talk about.
Yeah, we all wish for that, man. It's not in the cards.
I guess not. Or yet, or whatever. Maybe I should watch what I asked for. But no. That's exactly what I'm asking for. Is we're in the pursuit of truth here. This is why I have been handed the title, "The Blade of Truth," by the Ether Cause boys. That it doesn't matter who says it. I'm going to objectively look at what is said, and I'm going to give my opinion on that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We just gotta keep trucking, because it doesn't matter if they all want to slide backwards. If we don't do it, who's gonna?
Yeah. I like the other question that likes to get asked on Friday nights, and months ago even, I remember it being asked that, okay, and I think FTFE Craig is hot for this question, inclusively. It's like, okay, what kind of evidence would you need to see in order to become a Globie? And I think I've answered that question yesterday. You know what I mean? That's the kind of evidence, that's the data set that I'm looking to amass, regardless of the result. You know what I mean? I'm on the path towards truth. I'm walking the walk, and maybe it'll even come out.
Speaking of that, brother, can you post a link where you can get the refund if you donated to his leg surgery?
Good question. Good question. Good question. Hilarious. No, I think some effort should be put together to get the court record of how it went down when they dragged him in front of the judge for whipping out his cane and whacking somebody who wouldn't give back his wife's bike or something, whatever that story was about the dude who bought a bike and he got violent over it. Maybe connect him up with Owen Benjamin and they can swap horror stories about bikes. Just a thought. All right, gang. Well, it's been a blast, but we're hitting 2:30, and I think I better call it for now. Feel free to invite me back sometime for a specific thing that's going on. You know, not just the regular drag it globy through the muck kind of thing. If something's happening, I wouldn't mind coming by and checking it out. It's kind of fun. And I'm gonna grab my fly blat and kill that bug.
Have a good one. You're always welcome back.
You too, guys. Have a good one. We'll catch you guys soon. And enjoy the stream. It was a blast to produce. Catch you then, hey?
Yeah, Giga, you don't have to think the Earth is flat to be in our channel. We have Globers that have been hanging out with us for years. Because, I mean, you came in saying like you think the Earth might be flat, but I don't really think you think that. I mean, that was my question to you when then you went back to satellites. I asked you what evidence you've seen that makes you lean toward the flat Earth, because that was your premise coming in, that you were only hung up on satellites and hurricanes, but really you really believe in the globe, right? I mean, you're a glober, right, Giga? That seems to be the case.
Well, I don't know what shape the Earth is. I've never been to space. I've been right here on the surface the whole time.
Yeah, so what leads you to doubt the globe then?
Let's see. Laser observations of the ocean. So you can see laser light much further than 8 or 12 miles, the globe Earth say. You should be able to see. You can see lasers for like 30 and 40 miles. And that shouldn't be possible if we're on a big ball, you know?
Yeah, a lot of the laser tests, are demonstrating lasers hitting a target at distances that would be impossible on the ball of dimensions claimed. That's right.
That makes me question the ball. But also, there's things that make me question flat Earth, too. So...
Yeah, I mean, if you understand laser tests and long-distance observations, and you've looked at the multitude of different laser tests and long-distance observations that have been done, each one which is a counterexample to the geometric claim of a 3,959-mile radius sphere, then these other incidentals that are happening in the sky and could just as easily happen on a flat surface are irrelevant to the lack of curvature on the ground. The globe's just not there. If the globe were there, then the curvature would be observable and measurable. So you don't have to go to space. You said you hadn't been to space, so I don't know, like, which laser tests have you looked at?
I can't remember what the name of them was. It was just some guys on YouTube, and they were filming it, the whole thing. It's been many years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I could show you some, if you're interested, and you could look at them in more detail, because once you have an understanding of those, then these other questions about things in the sky, they can be interesting side notes, but they have no effect on the ground measurements, like you discussed. The laser
Right.
tests are conclusive. There's no glow. There's no curvature that's been measured. For example, I'll share the FE core laser test. Their longest test was 25 miles. There's a 28-mile laser test that was done in British Columbia. Can find that one for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it was like over 20 miles away. They were able to see a laser. It was like over the water.
Yeah, so those, for example, the longest laser test for the first link, FE core, the target should have been hidden by 297 feet of drop, but the laser hit the target. So the distances, the missing curvature, it's very large, 297 feet. So it's not even close. Yeah, and the Matrix put another one in there, the Great Salt Lake laser test, 21 miles. That's cool. You've actually looked at evidence and you remember it. That's way ahead of most people that come in here.
You know what the best cure for hiccups is?
Being scared.
Globe evidence cures hiccups immediately.
Oh, I thought it would be flat evidence for Globers that would cure it. They'd be so scared. They usually seem kind of scared of it, don't you think?
Yeah, they're scared of globe evidence.
They're scared of anti-globe evidence, or they're scared?
No, they're
that
scared
there
of globe
isn't any?
evidence.
Yeah, because it's not there. That why they're scared.
Well, they never bring it here, and they talk about all the things that aren't globe evidence. So they must be scared of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Sounds about right.
Exactly. Because the globe evidence that's required is directly, demonstrably measured surface curvature. That's what they're scared of. That's why they always want to talk about things that aren't that, like the sky. Right? Because there is demonstrable measured surface curvature. 0. That's the value. There you go. So if they have to talk about it, they have to talk about 0 curvature as the value for the measured curvature. That's why they're scared to death of it. But our friend who was previously speaking isn't a Glober, so it doesn't apply to him.
I just looked in my DMs. I got a DM from Fight the Flat Earth that says, "When are we debating?" How should I reply? We're not booger eater, or should I just post the gif of him eating his?
No, dude. Be like, I showed up to the place for the debate. You didn't show.
We already did. That wasn't you. Like I debated someone. They said they were fight the flat earth.
Oh yeah, that'll really drive him nuts. Send him an invite to the channel. Yeah, right here, right now, 9 p.m. Politics channel. Let's go.
Yeah. Or you can eat boogers. You're welcome.
He's got to bring his own though. He's not eating mine.
I was at 3:11 p.m. Too bad I missed it.
Tell him he has to donate all the proceeds to the gynecomastomic surgery center. For the guys that didn't catch that, that means dudes with boobs.
Thanks, mate. I was wondering.
And for the other people who really don't understand what's going on, that's dudes that just look like they have these massive boobs because of their fat condition, not necessarily because they wanted to look like they have boobs, if you catch my drift. Sorry, I had to caveat that in these times.
Oh, Geiko's back. Did you watch one of those videos? Is that why you're deafened, or is that just too optimistic for me to be thinking that?
A little optimistic. I did pull the video up. I've not watched it yet.
Okay, well, I hope you will. I hope you will.
Yeah, it says this one 21 miles out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's someone that did one over land, 35 miles over land on a Salt Lake bed.
Oh, were they at the same elevation? I guess so.
Wouldn't matter. It's a salt flat. It's the bottom of a lake bed, and it's the elevation profile is like maybe I can't remember exactly, but you're talking about 35 miles away. You're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of feet of differential. So it's not even close. By differential, I mean if the Earth is a globe, it's supposed to curve down and away from your observer's point at a specific rate.
What is it, like an inch for 8 miles, or what is it again? I forget. It's like
8
inches per mile.
See if I can do it real quick.
I love flat Earth. Do you
That's
love flat Earth?
great. That's beautiful. Yes, we love the flat Earth. It's so wonderful.
Oh, yes, I love it. I love it. I want a flat Earth disc for Christmas.
Flat Earth is not a disc. 23 Hashem. You're misinformed.
Oh, I'm learning more about flat Earth. Oh my God. Tell me more.
You came to the right place.
Yes.
Yeah, the misconception of a disc in space, as popularized through ridiculous internet memes, is nothing more than a
So wait.
propaganda campaign.
not
Propaganda campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is
yeah,
it?
Yeah. That's the end of my sentence. Go ahead.
Are we the center of the universe?
Many say that. Many say that. Is that what you're saying, 23 Hashem?
No. I just burped because I'm drinking
No,
wine.
he's so gross. Somebody else could talk to him.
I'm sorry. No. They know me here. I'm a normal guy, but I'm drunk right now, so I'm a little bit exaggerated right now.
But that ball Earth propaganda.
Are we like okay? If it's flat, does nothing exist outside of the disc?
There is no
Yes or
disc.
no?
Oh, it's you again. Get muted. Yeah, get muted, bro. LARPing ass, LARP-tastic. He's a LARP earther. He only comes here to make flat earthers look stupid by acting like a flat earther and being stupid.
Yeah, I just told him there wasn't a disc. Yeah, then he said disc again. Then Matrix had to tell him no disc. I mean, how hard is that? No disc. It's not that hard. We'll go back to Giga. Maybe it's Giga, like 1.21 gigawatts.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Put the math in there, brother.
I guess more like giggity.
Says
Nasty.
So the at 35 miles it'd be 816 feet of raw drop from a level line if the Earth was curved. But it's even worse than that because you have the off angle from the apex of the arc, right? To which would make your sight line increase even more. So I mean, this seeing a laser on the ground 35 miles away while you're on the ground. I mean, it's just not possible, bro. And if I'm not mistaken, they put it in a pickup truck, shined it back at the observer's location, and then drove the truck away, and they saw the laser the whole time.
By the way, that dude 23 Hashem has Earth is round in his bio, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah. Dude, he has Earth is round in the inflections of his voice. He has Earth is round, it is permanently attached to his lips.
Also, in his
Yes,
bio,
Earth is round in the contours of his shadow.
it also says in the next sentence in his bio, the government is full of great people. He might as well have said the Earth is round twice.
Hey, did you know that Globers can actually prove the Earth curvature rate? Did you know that, Indio? I just realized that 3 minutes ago.
Wow.
Simple.
3D Studio
I
Max.
want to see if you can figure it out. No, I just want to see if you can figure it out. Take like 30 seconds before I tell you the answer. It's so simple.
How globe earthers can prove the Earth curvature rate.
Yep.
They could measure it. Or did you want me to be more specific?
And then they'd prove the Earth curvature value, correct?
Yes.
Which would be?
Proof of a globe?
No, 0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Carlo called it. I was thinking it.
I told you it was so simple, dude. Like, it's so simple. It's obviously simple and so simple, but then it's like, it sounds complicated.
It's R equals 0, man.
Well, actually, me and Dandelion were talking. I was saying, Globers are afraid. I can't remember why we were talking about fear. Globers are not afraid of flat Earth evidence. They're afraid of globe evidence because the only evidence would be direct surface curvature measurements, and the curvature rate of the Earth is 0.
We were talking about it as a cure for hiccups. You brought it up.
Oh yeah, I don't have hiccups anymore. Therefore, if the Earth is flat. Dude, that drunk dude was like, I've been a flat earther. I've been in this channel for 2 years. Everybody knows me. That's what he said last time he was here.
There's one the other day that said he'd been coming in and out of here for the last 2 years or over 2 years, and you look at his bio, and his account was only created 2 months beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, let me ask you this, Peter. Let me ask you this, Peter. Who is actually a good Globe Earth debate partner? Notice I didn't say opponent, I said partner. Because you'd be engaging in a debate, actually answering each other's questions, actually working together. Like, who would be a good guy to have on the other side?
Let me think. That guy, I had a good debate once on TikTok with this PhD relativity guy that looks like a nerd. Dr. Galaxis or something weird. He at least let me speak, so, at least we had an exchange there for 10 minutes.
Let me ask you this, Peter. Other than yourself, what person that Globe Earther that debates this topic is the most substantive? Meaning, they A, stick to the topic, actually present evidence for their claims, actually know what the evidence says about in their claims, and have actually evaluated whatever the fucking evidence is. Who does that as a Globe Earther?
Mordy did a good job debating Shane and that other idiot.
Mordwin?
The ether hallucinating boys, yeah. That was a good debate about maps.
I have to give him the title, even though all his shit is retroactive. See, what he does is he goes and tries the bullshit, and then he gets cooked, and then he goes reads the shit he should have read before he said it, and then tries to take another bite at the apple.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's what he does. But at least he's trying. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so not so bad. I think
he's just a shit debater. So I mean, not
Professor Dave would be good, but he'll never agree to.
Oh, he said it.
Are you kidding, dude? Professor Dave is the most disingenuous a-hole, dude. He's not a good debate partner. Are you kidding me, bro? Dude's a total loser.
Now, give me one good reason why I should let him continue. Just saying that name makes my skin crawl. He's a muppet. Fair dinkum. It concerns me that we've got this whole pile of this young generation that look up to Professor Dave because he's got so much knowledge and wisdom and he passes it on, and all I want to do is not throw up.
Talent agent left because I wouldn't sign his contract.
He's probably concerned that what was coming next.
He's allergic to Matrix. Matatrix. Listen here, Matatrix.
Matatrix. Matatrix.
Isn't it Matrix?
Yeah.
Mate.
Matrix. Sounds kinky.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I can't think of a single upside thing to fight the flat earth that wouldn't be just completely ego driven. So everybody goes, "You kicked his ass." Like, so what? I wouldn't even feel good about that. It's not an achievement. Oh, I debated fight the flat earth, and I won. Yeah, and where's the rest of the story?
Yeah, it'd be like a high schooler going to the kindergarten playground. I beat them all up.
Yeah, dodgeball, dude. Just Doyle rules. Freaking just smashing him with the dodgeball.
If FTFE wants to crawl out of the primordial soup and climb his way up the ladder and come and visit us, he's more than welcome to do so. But I can assure you now, I am not going to chase him down. And I doubt it. I wouldn't expect anyone else to either, in all seriousness.
Hey, listen up, bro. He may or may not have had his leg amputated. I need to find out for sure, because I could have sworn he was having it upcoming. He was
Someone else
on
said that.
he was on a Creality show, which, oh man, who's that guy? Flatzoid. And he was saying, "Oh, I'm going to have this done soon," and he'd be willing to accept his prayers. And so I was like, "Wait a minute, is he getting his leg amputated?" But I never validated whether that was happening or not. So I'm still out in the dark.
He took money for that. He owes us the amputation. Hey, did you see that QNF video about his amputation?
What?
You stream it?
I've seen it, man. It's so fucking funny, man. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Is it about FTFE's amputation or about QNF's amputation?
FTFE's amputation.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Like, you owe us an amputation. You took my money.
Wow, I gotta watch that, dude. Well, dude, listen, dude. If you ask for an amputation money from Christians and then ask for prayer, and then you don't get amputated, it's because it was a miraculous healing. It's a good scam. Man, I had to go to Mexico to get the doctor because I can't afford a U.S. doctor. And then they stole the money, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. But then my leg was miraculously healed from all your prayers. And now this new yacht in my backyard, I don't know where that came from. It was just a gift from somebody.
And on this latest episode of Judge Judy, the money or the leg?
Bricks at you.
No.
Bricks ahead.
Yes. Tell me more.
You guys are a bunch of stupid buttheads, and the Earth is a globe.
Prove it.
Oh, Mansky's in a bad mood today. Gosh. I didn't expect that.
Bad mood today. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of copers,
You don't
here's
mock
number
me
two.
over the most childish thing one can
I
do.
know.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah, it makes me want to talk like a valley girl more for Nables. Hey, Nables, gag me with a spoon.
That was like that can be done, but I was more so mimicking your southern accent.
Oh, yeah, I wish I had a southern accent. That'd be so cool.
Don't ruin a day by telling them what kind of accent you have.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've been accused of having a southern accent before. So, yeah, maybe once or twice.
You don't go too far south, you'll end up sounding like me.
Wisconsinner?
Yeah, I just want to point out, the other day me and AV were speaking to Maz, and we wanted him to have a debate with Peter, right? And Maz was acting all like he didn't know who the fuck Peter was anymore.